Hello students, welcome back. In the last session we have started with the new unit, that is JDBC, and we have studied what is JDBC, what is ODBC, and why JDBC is required. In today's session we'll see some differences between JDBC and ODBC, and we'll also go through the architecture of JDBC. As I've said, JDBC and ODBC both are APIs which are used to access backend database from the application program. Now JDBC, it is the Java's API, and that help Java program connect with the backend database, whereas ODBC, it is created by the Microsoft, which can be used on the Windows platform to connect with any database. Now let's start. So some differences between the JDBC and ODBC. The first column, it is the keys, second is ODBC, and last is JDBC. So key stands for, so ODBC, as we know, it stands for Open Database Connectivity, which literally means that it is compatible with all types of languages such as C, C++, Java, etc. Whereas JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity, that is only compatible with Java language. Second, the key, that is introduction. ODBC was introduced by Microsoft prior to JDBC in 1992. So ODBC API was introduced in 1992, whereas JDBC was introduced by Sun Microsystem after ODBC in 1997. Platform independence or platform dependency. ODBC is platform dependent, as we can use ODBC only on Windows platform. As I've said, ODBC can only be used on Windows platform, not on any other platform. On the other hand, JDBC is platform independent and can be used for any platform. The type, ODBC can be considered as a type of procedural, as most of these drivers are developed in native languages like C, C++, which are procedural type of languages. So ODBC, you can say it is a procedural type, whereas the JDBC is pure object oriented type driver. Then performance. The performance of ODBC is faster as compared to JDBC, as data imports and exports are faster and memory intensive. On the other hand, performance of JDBC is lower than native ODBC, but its platform independence, allowing to work with many operating system including Mac and Linux, driver versions, or bitness, that is 32-bit or 64-bit. Okay, these are some differences between the JDBC versus ODBC driver. Now let us go through the JDBC architecture. Now JDBC API actually supports 2-tier and 3-tier processing models for database access, but in general JDBC architecture contains or consists of 2 layers. These 2 important layers are JDBC API. This provides an application to JDBC manager connection. JDBC API provides the application, that is our Java program, to JDBC manager connection, whereas connection from JDBC manager to the actual driver is through JDBC driver API. So there are 2, JDBC API, JDBC driver API. And JDBC driver API, this supports the JDBC manager to driver connection. In the program, generally we use JDBC API to connect, that in turn has a connection with the driver and the database. The JDBC API uses a driver manager and database specific drivers to provide transparent connectivity to heterogeneous databases. As I've said, JDBC API uses a driver manager and database specific drivers to provide transparent connectivity to different types of databases. The JDBC driver manager ensures that the correct driver is used to access each data source. The driver manager is capable of supporting multiple concurrent drivers connected to multiple heterogeneous databases. Now, the driver manager is uh, having the work of choosing a proper driver for a particular database, because drivers differ for databases. The driver which is used to connect a MySQL database is different from the driver which is used to connect an SQL database, because all of those databases use their own language of communication, so the drivers also differ in this case. So this is the work of JDBC driver manager, to ensure that he selects a particular driver, a correct driver for a particular database. Now this is an architectural diagram of JDBC, where we can see where exactly a driver manager is placed. So we have the Java application, so that is our program. It can be a Java Swing program or a console program, you can consider. Then we have a JDBC API. So our Java program has a direct communication with JDBC API, application programming interfaces, and this application programming interfaces in turn communicate with the JDBC driver manager. So this is JDBC driver manager, and JDBC driver manager has different JDBC drivers. You can see here different drivers to connect with different databases. We have a Oracle database, SQL Server, ODBC data source, and for each of those databases a separate JDBC driver is provided by the vendor of the database, and using those drivers the databases are accessed. So now, as you can see in the architecture, the Java application always communicates with a JDBC API, and that internally has a communication with the manager which connects with a backend database. Okay. So the common components of JDBC we will see here. The common components which we will be using in the program are driver manager. So this class manages a list of database drivers, matches connection request from the Java application with the proper database driver using communication subprotocol. So this class, as I've said, driver manager, it manages different databases, and the work of this particular driver manager, it is to match a best driver for a database to which we are connecting by using a subprotocol which has been specified. Then we have a driver component. So this interface handles the communication with the database, as you have seen in the architectural diagram. So this handles communication with a database server. You will interact directly with the driver objects very rarely. As I've said, there is not actually an interaction of an application with a driver directly. Only in rare cases we interact with the driver. Instead, you use driver manager object which manages objects of this type. So instead we use a driver manager for this purpose. Then connection, this interface with all methods for contacting a database or for establishing, or it stores a connection reference which can be used to connect or which can be used to communicate with a backend database. So this is one important component which is frequently used in the program to communicate with the backend database. Then whereas statement, so statement objects are created from the connection interface to submit the SQL statements to the database. We can execute SQL statements on the backend database by using statement object. So connection is established by using a connection object which stores a connection reference. But actual statements, SQL statements like select star from student, customer, those queries can be executed from our program onto a backend database only by using a statement object. Then whereas result set, it is the object which is used to store the result of computation, that is the query result. If I am executing a query that is select star from students, it returns me set of students which are there in the student database. So this data can be stored in a result set. So it is a special type of variable which can be used to store data in the form of rows and columns, you can say. And lastly, the SQL exception. So this class handles any error that occurs in a database application. So this particular SQL exception class can be used to handle database specific errors which arise from the communication between our application to the database. So these are some common components which are used in JDBC. With this, we will stop here today. We'll continue with other things in the next session. Thank you.